Good morning, everyone. I am Pamela Higgs, and I am walking in my best quality of life. And I want to talk to you all today about social anxiety. Let me just first say that social anxiety is something that I myself have been dealing with for my entire life, probably, for as long as I can remember. And as a licensed professional counselor and certified life coach, I've been able to work with, and treat clients for several different years now on this very topic, this very issue of social anxiety. Many people may think that social anxiety is just about being that shy person. Okay, just, oh my goodness, I'm just quiet and, I don't really like to be around people. But guess what? It is much greater than that. And it is very impactful, on a person, on their self esteem, their relationships with other people, their ability to, even get promoted at work, because they're just so anxious all the time. They're so nervous all the time, when they're around other people, when there are tasks to be done, they are not the ones that's going to stand up because they're so afraid. So I want to kind of talk with you because some of you may be wondering, what is social anxiety? So I'm going to start off by giving you a brief definition of what it is, and then I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do to empower yourself to overcome, as well as to manage the symptoms of your anxiety, okay? So, when we're talking about social anxiety, this is about an individual who gets anxious in social and opportunities, social engagement, social interactions with other people. Okay, this is an intense feeling of nervousness, anxiety, stress. Okay, when they are around other people. And sometimes, believe it or not, it's even people that they know, family members, friends, even. You would think, how would somebody be nervous around, people that they know? Unfortunately, depending on, what's going on inside of their head, what's going on inside of, their body symptoms of their physiological symptoms could determine, that they are really experiencing some nervousness in the situation. And it's just hard for people who don't have social anxiety to really understand what that does to a person or how they could experience that. So let me give you some more information. Okay, this person who has social anxiety, they fear that they're going to say the wrong thing. They just don't know what to say. They're constantly thinking in their mind, oh my goodness, I can't, what if I say something wrong? Or what if I say something and they're going to judge me? What if I say something they don't like? What if I say something that's offensive to somebody and they get angry with me? I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. What if they think what I'm saying is silly? It doesn't make sense. They have a hard time getting out of their head, and speaking it to other people. It's like there's so many racing thoughts going through their mind all the time that it's so hard for them to even, decide what thought to use, what thought to speak. Okay. Their quality of life is impacted because, oftentimes they get passed over. Sometimes people just don't want to be around them because they think they're awkward. They don't have anything to say, so they're not really contributing to the conversations, or there seems to be so paranoid whenever there is a conversation going on that, the other people would rather not even, communicate with them at all, So oftentimes people who experience social anxiety ostracize themselves from other people, and social anxiety, can, even lead to them feeling depressed, because they're lonely, because they think something's wrong with them. Their self-esteem is impacted by this disorder, and they just really, really need some help. So I would like to talk to you all today on how to get that help. What do you do? First and foremost, I'm going to give you 7 tips, and not necessarily in any type of order, maybe outside of the first couple of ones. But I'm going to give you some tips because your life does not have to be impacted forever by social anxiety. There are things that you can do to control for your social anxiety. Tip number 1, you have to have self-awareness. You have to recognize the signs and symptoms that I mentioned before. You have to know that something is wrong, something is not right within. And so because of that, because you're recognizing those symptoms of sadness, loneliness, depression, nervousness, maybe even some panic attacks, when you're around other people, if you're noticing those things, this goes straight into my second tip, is you need to seek some help from a professional such as a licensed therapist and or a life coach. You need some type of help for this. It's going to be very difficult for you to try to control it yourself because guess what? You've been doing it all these years and it hasn't helped. So why not seek out some help? Most insurances, most clinicians, your insurance will cover, you to go see a clinician. You may have like a minimum co-payment, but it's worth it. Your mental health is worth it. Your quality of life is worth it. And guys, we got to make sure that we are, taking care of ourselves, mentally as well as physically. Okay. All right. Once you've gotten help from, a licensed personal support person, it's important for you to make sure that you set some small goals for yourself to combat this social anxiety. For an example, you may say, okay, I'm going to initiate a conversation with someone. I'm not going to wait for somebody to come and call me or say hi to me as I'm passing them in the street or on the sidewalk. I'm going to look that person in their right eye and I'm going to say, good morning, how are you? Now, guys, it may take all the energy in the world for you to do this, but you will feel so much better after you do it. You will feel like you've accomplished something so great to you that may be minimal to some others that don't suffer from social anxiety. But for you out there who suffer from social anxiety, you'll be so happy with yourself when you call somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time. You initiated it. You thought about that person. When you, for an example, come up to a colleague or someone at work that you don't even know and you start a conversation with them, okay? Make it your business to call that relative you haven't spoken to in ages or that friend from high school and stay in contact with them at least once a month. You'll feel more socially connected. Take yourself out to an event, that you normally wouldn't go to. Go and be in the, go and sit and be in the crowd, even if it means you have to sit in the back until you get comfortable with sitting in the front or in the middle, but try it. You can, there's always a way out. So I want you to think about that. Okay. Something else that you can do individually on your own is to make sure that you are using positive affirmations every day. Pick some affirmations. An affirmation is a mantra or a saying of some sort that's going to build your confidence. The Serenity Prayer, for an example, is a great mantra. Biblical scriptures can be great. It can be great for affirmations, something that's going to build you up, like a positive self-statement. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So if I'm anxious, the Lord my God says, fear not. Okay, fear not. Only fear him, but don't fear no one else. Tell yourself this. This is how you boost your self-confidence and build your self-esteem, because no one out there is any better than you are. So you are a contender, so no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No social anxiety, no depression, none of that is going to stop me from having healthy social relationships with others. No fear is going to stand in the way of me getting that promotion at work or starting my own business for that matter. I can network. So you tell yourself these things. In addition to that, sometimes when you start to feel that nervousness in your stomach, that heart rate is increasing and your heart is beating fast, guess what? Take some time and take some deep breaths in. Go into that bathroom, and take a time out and be able to talk, and talk to yourself. Go open up the calm.com app on your phone, or the Pacifica app. These are apps designed to help you deal with, your emotions, and they give you exercises, things that you can do at any given point in time. Go into that car, take a break. Walk around the building, do whatever it needs to do, you need to do to get yourself back on track, because you can do it. You can beat social anxiety. I believe in you. In addition to that, posturing. It's hard to think negatively and feel negatively when you are in a certain position. If I sit up right in my chair and my feet flat on the floor, I know you can't see my feet, but I'm actually sitting up in my chair. If I sit up in my chair and I look, I feel better. I feel more confident. If I stand up like this and I open myself up, no closed arms, because closed arms, can make room for negative emotions. But if I stand like this with my head held high, I feel confident. I feel good about me. So I'm going to encourage you to try some of these posturing and positioning as well, so that you can feel better about yourself. When you're in a room, stand up, stand up straight. Back erect, so that people will know, okay, this is somebody that's walked into this room. I'm taking notice of this individual, okay? In addition to that, I'm going to just close in giving you this last 7th step. Guys, whatever you do, you must practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. You must practice at this. You did not get this way overnight. So you're not going to automatically be turned around 360 degrees. This is going to take effort on your part. I know some of these exercises you may be thinking, oh, that sounds so minimal. Oh, that sounds so silly. Oh, I don't have time for that, or what have you. Guys, I could go on and give you more, and that will come. There will be some more that will come. But you gotta start with at least these basic things. You gotta try these basic things, these basic tips to help you. Because I believe that you can have a greater and better quality of life to get to your best quality of life. We're walking in it every day. So let's try to improve in this area. You don't have to be shy. You don't have to be passed over, overlooked. So I believe in you. And again, this is Pamela Hayes, licensed therapist and life coach. And I want to say to you, I believe in you. Okay, I believe in me. I believe in you. Okay, we got work to do. So take it easy until next time. Enjoy walking in your best quality of life.